Yeah, I've seen enough already. The 2025 Washington Wizards are not only worse than the 2024 Detroit Pistons, they are on their way on being the worst NBA team of all time. They are 6-41. They are getting blown out left and right. And yeah, they could end up finishing worse than the 2010 Nets, the 2012 Bobcats, and be legitimately the worst NBA team of all time, especially if they sell at the deadline, which they're probably going to do so. So I'm not even trying to exaggerate when I'm saying I am rebuilding the worst team of all time today. So I expected them or the Brooklyn Nets to be like really bad this year and one of those teams to be worse than the Pistons. And I lean more towards the Nets. So I was wrong about that take. It ended up being the Wizards. This team, like watching them every night, it is not fun because even some of their young guys, it's so hard for them to grow and just want to be part of a winning environment when they're just not even close to that right now because their veterans like Kyle Kuzma are just really not performing well for them. And if you just look at their margin of defeat, they're losing by 20 points every single game. Like Start Today can display it. They just got blown out by the Lakers. Bronny James had, I think, a career high or close to it, 5 points in this one. They get blown out by the Raptors, not a great team. Blown out by the Mavericks, Suns, Clippers, Lakers. Just look and pause the video and see the margin of defeat on these games. Just getting blown out by the Bulls. Shout out to them only losing to the Knicks by 4. Brunson at 55 though. And I feel like whenever a team has their best offensive game of the season, it's against the Washington Wizards. So yeah, we are going to be rebuilding this team today, right in time for the deadline. I'm recording this early Friday morning. You guys may see this on Sunday or Saturday. So maybe they ended up trading somebody by then, but we are going to try to dish off some of these veterans by the deadline. And I think Malcolm Brogdon, I'm really going to try to move. It's going to be a little tough at $22.5 million, but I think we can get it done. I mean, the team traded away Daniel Gafford last year. They got Rashawn Holmes and basically Keyshawn George out of it. And Bilal Coulibaly, who had a really good start to year number 2, has definitely cooled off as of late, and his efficiency has struggled, but he's still just 20 years old. I have high expectations for him in his career. Alex Sars dealt with some inefficiency issues to start off his career, and I think we got to figure out what's best for him long term. Is it at the 5? Is it at the 4? Either way, I think Jordan Poole has definitely like turned around his trade value, and this contract, I believe, goes to 2 years left, or is it 3 years left? It is 2 years left in the offseason. 31 and 34 million for a, like, honestly, the efficiency is not too bad. I think we can actually trade him in the offseason. It's too big of a contract to move right now, though. And yeah, 6-44 at the deadline. So I don't know how this game is going to end up, but they get blown up by the Timberwolves, lose to the Hornets by 1, who just don't have anybody at the moment. And then we lose to the Nets, who are trying to lose by 4 here. 6-44 through their first 50 games. That is insane. And I'm afraid that Kyle Kuzma is turning into a negative contract. I'm going to still try to move him at the deadline. I'll see if a trade makes sense. But yeah, Kuzma could have went for maybe a first round pick in the offseason or 2 off seasons ago. I know the contract's descending and he's still 29. But watching Kyle Kuzma this year, maybe it's just he doesn't want to be there. And I know it's come out that maybe he's unhappy there. I mean, I wouldn't be happy there either. I don't know where his value is at. And you know what this team could use right now? A Denny of DI. I know Bub Carrington is an exciting young piece, but Denny's playing so well as of late in Portland. Also, can somebody explain to me why Tim Hardaway Jr. is 2.5 star trade value? That I don't really get. But Kyle Kuzma, I'm going to try to send him home to the state of Michigan where he grew up. And we're going to try to send him to Detroit for Tim Hardaway Jr. and a lottery protected first round pick in 2027. I don't even think they're going to accept this. Yeah, they want to do some type of swap. I mean, I don't mind taking on Tobias Harris's contract. I just assume they'd rather move THJ. I'd still like to get a first round pick in this deal. I could throw in a little bit of salary as well. So you can get a good offensive big in Marvin Bagley back to Detroit where he spent a couple years there. So Kuzma and Bagley for Tobias Harris and a lottery protected first. They're going to say no, it looks like, but they'll give me B-Ball Paul. I got to slide them 2 seconds. Let's do that trade. And yeah, it's not going to be a great first round pick because Detroit's probably going to be a playoff team in 27. I'm fine getting the 28th overall pick just to get Kyle Kuzma off the team. And it is funny, like, would Bradley Beal waive his no trade clause to go back to Washington? Probably not. I'm also intrigued about this trade as well. I don't know if Pacers fans would hate this, but I'm going to try to see if I can get Obi Toppin and send Jonas Valanciunas for him. The Pacers going to make the playoffs again, but they don't have a lot of center depth with Wiseman and Isaiah Jackson out for the year. Yeah, they do have Thomas Bryant, who has been fine in that role, but they're going to get a little bit more insurance just in case Miles Turner somehow leaves in free agency. So would they do Obi Toppin? This can also allow more minutes for Jarris Walker for Jonas Valanciunas. and they're going to agree to that. And we are going to do this trade with the Sacramento Kings, I think. We'll see. They really wanted Malcolm Brogdon, but I feel like Corey Kispert could make more sense for them just because he's under contract and I think a little bit more consistent of a shooter than Kevin Huerter. I'm going to get their 2027 lottery protected first. De'Aaron Fox could end up getting moved by the time this video comes out, but he's still on their team right now. We'll see if they'll do this. They're going to say no. They want Rashawn Holmes back. I take on Jordan McLaughlin. I give them a second. We're going to do that. I think I'm just going to go by the Denny of Dia mold. Corey Kispert is really just not going to do much for us right now. Yeah, when we're contending, but that may not be for a few years. He could get more expensive. I'm going to try to capitalize on the value now. And this could allow us to play Saddiq Bey a little bit more and try to up his trade value to move him in the offseason. And I think I'm going to try to make an in-division trade here. I want to get a first-round pick out of it. Could I get the Nuggets first-round pick this year? I'll take on KCP's bad money. Former Wizard, you may forget. That was like the Monty Morris trade. I think Will Barton was involved as well. I take on Cole Anthony. I give them some shooting in Malcolm Brogdon and Kevin Huerter. They are going to counter, it looks like. I'm not giving up a first, though. I would like to get a first in this trade. How about I give you 3 second-round picks? I'll give you the Suns second. I'll give you the Warriors second. And I'll give you this Bulls second in 27. I'll give you a 4th second. Okay, beautiful. We could do that. So I'm going to get a first-round pick for basically taking on some bad money, which is fine because I think Washington, they could become a free agency destination. I do agree Philly's a bigger sports market and a bigger city in America market size wise, but they shouldn't be too far behind them, I think, going forward. Boston and New York, I think they're in their own tier of tier 1, and then Philly's in tier 2. I think Washington, if they could build up sustainable success, can kind of be like San Francisco with the Golden State Warriors. Now, it's easier said than done. We'd have to win multiple rings to get there. But I do think Washington could eventually become a free agency destination. So we just made a ton of moves. And I did acquire 3 first-round picks. I don't know if any of those are going to be good. But hey, we got some of those veterans off the team. I'm going to play Bub Carrington a ton in the second half. Bilal as well. Tobias Harris, I think, has to be better for us than Kyle Kuzma. I want to give Alex Sarr about 30 minutes a night. But you know what? I'm actually going to start, I think, Obi Toppin. So Tobias, you can get 27 minutes. Obi can get 30. I actually don't want to play Bilal too much where he's just taking bad shots because him, they're getting bad shots up. Keyshawn George, I'd like to play a little bit. Johnny Davis, he's kind of a lost cause at this point. So I'd rather see Saddiq Bey in the rotation. He could probably get 22 minutes a night. Cole Anthony is going to get some playing time. Actually, I think George is going to get 16. Probably go 18 to Bey, 25 to Harris. We can go about 12 to Cole Anthony, 10 to KCP. I guess we're not going to really have a true backup center. That's fine. We're trying to set the record for most losses in an NBA season. And then I hope the efficiency is good enough for Jordan Poole where I could trade him in the offseason. We do own our first round pick and the pick that's supposed to go to the Knicks. It's top 10 protected. We should still get it for the next few years. We'll see. I'll make sure that is realistic, but I'll have 2 picks in this 2025 NBA draft. I could have up to 3 in 2027. And yeah, this team obviously could use a Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg and Alex Sarr in that front court defensively would actually be really good in 5 years from now. And I think could be one of the best defensive front courts in the NBA. But we got to get there. We got to hope to win the lottery. And the rest of the season is going to be tough to watch. I went to a Knicks Wizards game last year, and the stadium was probably 78, 80-ish% filled. And I would say out of the 80% of the seats that were filled, this was on a Saturday night in January, I would say 60% of those 80% were Knicks fans, which is kind of sad, right? The Wizards have only won one playoff series, I believe, in the last decade, and that was that Bradley Beal, John Wall season where they ended up losing to Isaiah Thomas's Celtics in round number 2. And it's brutal to watch, man. Watching that Lakers game was so depressing. It looked a little bit more lively in the crowd because obviously people want to see LeBron and the Lakers. But I swear to God, Bronny was getting more cheers than anybody on the Wizards, which is just so sad. And I don't know what this team needs. Obviously, it's just got to be more competitive. I think we can eventually get there. And I do think they have smart people in the front office. And we're going to go through these dog days post Bradley Beal, which they were late on. They should have traded Beal in 2019. They don't until 2023. They actually got a good offer from somewhat of a desperate team in the Phoenix Suns to get and take on arguably the worst contract in the NBA. So I think this is going to be the worst of it. I think we're hitting rock bottom for the Wizards. They will be better next year unless they end up with pick 5 and it's just not a good rookie year for Ace Bailey or whoever they end up getting in the draft. But we somehow got rookie of the year with Alex Sarr. Guess I'm not complaining. So yeah, we're not getting any Washington Wizards on the all NBA teams at all. Sarr could definitely be on an all defensive team next year, but we do get him and Bub on all rookie first team. Let's go. No Keyshawn George, though. And yeah, we didn't make the playoffs. Did we end up with the worst record of all time? No, we did not. I believe the Pistons won 14 games last year. So we ended up winning 16 this year, which is kind of good. I mean, we did add like at least NBA talent at the deadline. Like we added Obi Toppin, we added Tobias Harris and Cole Anthony and KCP. Like not bad players whatsoever, but I think we are going to be active with trades in the offseason. I think Jordan Poole, when you look at what he did in the second half in 24 and throughout this season with his efficiency, only 2 years left, 25 years old, I think there'll be a market for him in the offseason. Will we have to take off or take on a bad contract? Maybe, but I think I can maybe get some draft capital for him. And I like the addition of Obi Toppin, still 27 years old. I think him and Sar, good front court duo. I'm just hoping I win the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. I mean, I'm open to drafting anybody at the top. Ace, Harper, Flag, Yakushonis, Edgecombe. But I would really like to get Cooper Flag. So the Spurs, what? They made it to the NBA Finals as a 7th seed. Where were they in the play-in? They were the 8th seed. Did they trade for De'Aaron Fox? They did not. Okay, that is kind of crazy. As Chris Paul ends up retiring, going 0-2 in the NBA Finals. We don't have anybody retiring on our team. LeBron and Chris Paul head to the Hall of Fame. All right, let's just watch this lottery live. Just, oh my God, don't drop me to 5, please. I'm trying to go through teams in my head that I think deserve Cooper Flag the most. I mean, I would like to see Cooper Flag with LaMelo and Miller and Charlotte. It could change the identity of that team, but maybe they're at the bottom of my list of teams that will finish in the bottom 5. I don't know if I want to see him in Brooklyn, but I think getting him to New York City would be really cool as well. I think Washington, I know they're the worst team in the league, and do you want to reward that? But I do think like Cooper Flag and Sar could be special in that front court going forward. New Orleans, I don't really know if I want to see him there. I think it's more so I'd like to see him in Washington, Brooklyn, Charlotte, or maybe like I think Portland or Utah can change their direction of their teams going forward. I feel like he's going to end up in Utah. And it would be funny if he just goes to the Western Conference. We need more talent in the Eastern Conference. All right, so the Pelicans fall to 6. Don't put me at number 5, please. Please don't put me at 5, please. Oh my God, really? All right, I guess Detroit Pistons fans know our pain right now. Oh my God, we have one of the worst seasons in NBA history, and you give me the 5th overall pick. I hate the new lottery odds. Philly doesn't deserve Cooper Flag. Philly does not deserve Cooper Flag. Oh my God, I mean, that is a sick team of Maxey, George, Flag, and Embiid. But God damn it, man. Oh, all right. I never get lucky in the lottery. I never do. And people say you got to watch it and you'll get lucky. Well, it didn't happen there. I probably should fire Brian Keefe. I would love to hire James Borrego, but he's going to get blocked. So I don't know why Will Hardy's there. I'm just going to move on to next year's head coaching cycle because I don't really want to throw a new head coach into the fire here. I do expect to be better. I do have this simulator difficulty on 55 because I want this to be a little bit more of a challenge. So the mocks have us taking... I'm debating here, like, you got to get used to some of these names, but come on now, you watch out of Duke. I don't hate. Trey Johnson out of Texas, I think could fit this team as well. I mean, like, I don't mind any of these guys. Yegor Demon, VJ Edgecombe. Like, I may trade down. All right, I want to see if the Memphis Grizzlies would do this trade. Jordan Poole, they're going to get a little bit more shooting. I'm not sure if he would really fit the Grizzlies' identity, but they're giving up Marcus Smart, John Conchar, and the 26th pick in this draft, or 21st. Would they do this trade? They are going to say, no, I'm not giving you an unprotected first. I'm not giving you 2 firsts. I'll give you, honestly, some of my seconds. I know I've been trading a ton of them, but I'll give you 3 seconds in this deal. They would want a first, J-Huff. I don't want to do that. All right, I want to see if the Spurs will do this trade. We'll see how well 2K is going to take this, but I'm going to give them Jordan Poole. They're going to get some shooting around Wemby. I think they need it. I'm also giving them Sadiq Bey, who's under a good contract and played fairly well in the second half coming off the ACL tear. Still just 26 years old. I'm taking on bad expiring money in Zach Collins and Barnes. I guess it's not bad, but it's expensive. That's $37 million. So they're basically going even here with these deals, and they could still leverage Jordan Poole in a bigger trade. He's going to get much better shots around Wemby as well. And I'm going to ask for the 18th pick in this draft. We'll see if they do this because Barnes should be like 1 star and same with Collins, but they agree to that anyway. All right. So, yeah, we are wheeling and dealing. I don't know if we're going to be worse next year. That could end up happening. Philly takes Cooper Flag with the number 1 pick. I envy you, Philadelphia. They get another number 1 overall pick. They're 3rd in the last 10 years with Simmons in 16, Fultz in 17, and now Flag in 25. Dylan Harper goes to Utah. Are we going to have a shocker here in the top 3? No, we do not. Ace Bailey goes 3. Toronto at 4 could be a shocker. Damn it, they took Trey Johnson. So I could take Edgecombe or Yakushonis. I think that would be a little bit more likely on draft night. But I think Edgecombe would be a good fit for the real life Wizards team. I'm going to take Yegor Demon. Haven't got him in a little bit. I think it's very comparable to Yakushonis in this game. I would like the idea of Watch and him and Sar being that front court. I may trade up for him. I may. but we'll see if he falls. I think to around 10, I wouldn't mind trading up. So we take Yegor Demon out of BYU, probably a late lottery guy in real life right now, but I like the upside here because I can play him at the 3, I can play him at the 1, and I think I like him starting at the point guard and Bub at the 2 next year. So the Pelicans at number, 6, they are trading the pick, and Jose Alvarado for, what the hell? So Trae Young and DeJounte Murray are teammates again. They take Liam McNeely. Nets at 7 take VJ Edgecombe. That's a great pick. Blazers at number 8, they take Noah Essengay. The Bulls could use a center, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was come on. And they take Asa Newell. Good pick right there. I don't think the Magic at 10. Yeah, they take Ben Seraph. I didn't think they were going to take come on my watch. I don't think the Thunder at 11 would either, but maybe they are looking for the Hartenstein replacement. All right, Utah trade. Ooh, that's a really good trade for Utah. Bad for OKC. They take Derek Queen. Whoa. So we do have 2 first-round picks there at 26 and 18. Would the Warriors be interested in moving down 6 spots, but they get another first-round pick, and I'll give them a second as well. I think they'll do this trade. Damn it, they say no. I don't really have a throw-in player in this deal that they would want, and I don't really want... Nah, I would move 1 more second. So I'll give you a future Sun second, and this one... All right, I can't give you more than that. So let's see if they take... come on here. And they take Akushonis, great value. So it seems like the Hawks are entering into a rebuild. So I'll give you 18 and 26 for 13. Would you do this? They say no. I will give you a future second from the from us. That could be good value. I'll give you 2 future seconds because I kind of want to hold on to pick 57. Would they do that? Really? Okay. Let's see if they take come on here at 13. They take Con Knipple. So are they going to take, let's see, we'll try to trade for 14. Okay, that's where I guess the drop off is. So we're on the clock. I'm going to take Come On Now You Watch. I know it could make a little bit more sense to take, yeah, like a Hugo Gonzalez, an Alex Caravan, a Nolan Traore, but I'm going to go with the development of Come On, and I think him and Sar could be something in that front court together. If Sar actually develops a 3-point shot, if he doesn't, then we'll figure it out then, but I think it's worth the flyer at 14 because of his upside. And I took a little bit more of an NBA ready shooter in Kobe Brea there at 57, so yeah, I have a lot of names to change. I like our draft. I wish it was a little bit better. Like, I wish I ended up with Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper, but it's okay. We're going to decline the options on Jordan McLaughlin, Patrick Baldwin, and Anthony Gill, as well as Johnny Davis, but we're obviously picking it up on Bilal. So qualifying offers, I'm going to give Tristan Vukcevic and I'm going to give Justin Champagnie. I think 2 good players, the qualifying offer. Jared Butler, not a bad player either, but I think we're going to move in a different direction. So I don't even think we have cap space. Shout out to Ty Jerome being the 4th highest rated guy here above Russ. Shout out to Russ getting some value back. And Russ wants $25 million. Okay. So looking at the team right now, we do have plenty of center depth going into next year's season. We have Obi and Tobias is expiring. We have Harrison Barnes is expiring. So if anybody wants to give us some bad money, I could give you some expiring contracts. Like, we have plenty of guys around here. I think I'm going to make Yegor Demon a point guard. Does he go down significantly? Oh, he does. That's fine. We're going to go through the growing pains there. And I'm going to hope to sign Karis LeVert on a 2-year deal worth $17 million. And hopefully he could be like Sadiq Bey 2.0. And I'm able to trade him at the deadline. So we get Champagnie and Vukcevic back on the QOs. Sar goes up to an 83. Same with Bilal. LeVert comes in as our 3rd highest rated player. Carrington or George right there. A lot of regression from some of the veterans. Yeah, like, I don't even know if KCP is going to play. Yegor Demon, of course, goes down because I changed his position, but that's fine. And looking at contract extensions before the season starts, like, not going to be Johnny Davis. He's not on the team. Bilal's going to refuse to re-sign. That is great. So, yeah, we don't have anybody worth re-signing right now. I do have to cut somebody before the season starts. Jeez, who do I want to cut? I mean, I could cut like Zach Collins. You know, I'm going to cut Harrison Barnes. Yeah, he's got 1 year left on the deal. I don't know if I was going to be able to move him, and I'm going to have Collins on the team instead. So I want to just still embrace the young guys, but the bench is going to be mainly the veterans. We're going to have Yegor Demon start at the 1. I'm going to want Bub Carrington starting at the 2. Bilal at the 3. I'm going to go Sar at the 4 and Kaman at the 5. I know it's going to be a little bit risky there, but like I said, I'm going to probably go a little bit more veteran-based off the bench with Keyshawn George. But like, a lot of these guys are not going to be here next year. So I'm going to go like 25 minutes to Kaman. We can stick 30 to Sar. That's fine. I would like for, yeah, some of these guys to play a little bit more minutes. I don't know, try to get some of these guys in. Like, Zach Collins isn't going to play. Like, KCP, like, is it worth playing him? Cole Anthony, is it worth playing as well? I think some of the veterans that could get me some value are probably Cole, Obi, and LeVert at the deadline. I think Yegor Demon can get around 25 minutes. So we're going to go 25 to Yegor, 26 to Carrington, 31 Bilal, 30 Sar, 25 to Kaman. I want LeVert and maybe Obi to build up some trade value at the deadline. I'd be more inclined to move LeVert. Keyshawn George, hopefully he's going to play well. Tobias, I don't know if I'm going to be able to trade him, but we'll give him some minutes. I think in the second half, we could see KCP, Cole, and Tobias all get removed from the rotation. We start playing Kobe Bryant, Champagny, and Vucevic, and the starters a little bit more. Probably gonna be really bad again this year. I totally expect that. Mitchell Robinson in the first now. So our pick is like top 8 protected, I believe, this year. And I do believe we're going to be a bottom 5 team. Good start to the Caris LeVert trade deadline move here, as he had 26 points on opening night. I don't know when our first win is going to be. I'm actually curious. Is it going to be here against the Magic? Nope. We ended up losing by, 33 points there. Okay. We did beat the Hornets 146-144. That's kind of dope. And yeah, we're just as bad this year, which I know it sucks. Like I said last year was going to be rock bottom for the Wizards, and we just didn't get Cooper Flag, which I think we could have been a little bit more aggressive this year, and we did take more developmental projects, but I do think we're seeing the progression of Yegor Demon. 6'7", average 6 assists a night, 4 rebounds. We'll see if the shot's going to come around. It's been inconsistent at BYU. Bub, not really taking the steps this year, but maybe he should. I mean, I'm only playing him 25 minutes a night, so it's not like I'm throwing him into the fire. Bilal has been better this year. The true shooting is up. Points per game are up. You know, that's an encouraging year for him. Sar's up to an 85 overall. The efficiency is up as well in a way, even with the 3-point percentage dropping, but I see the defensive potential in him. Come on, obviously growing pains, but honestly, the efficiency, not too bad for his rookie year. Caris LeVert, we are 100% trading at the deadline. Obi Toppin, maybe if I get an offer, but he's 27 and still under contract. Keyshawn George, I mean, not taking a step. Tobias isn't great. Cole isn't great. I don't know if I'm going to be able to move any of those veterans. And we are going to make this trade with the Dallas Mavericks, who are obviously still trying to go all in. Najee Marshall, not having a good shooting season as they're looking to get some floor spacing around Luka. I'm getting this swap worse than 28 between the Thunder and the Mavericks. So that's going to be at the end of the first round. But honestly, getting a first round pick for Caris LeVert, I should take that every day of the week. I do have to include a second, but we are going to make that deal. And yeah, we do have some unwanted salary now, maybe Najee Marshall for this team. Hopefully, though, he could turn his value around for us in the second half of the year. And I think I'd like to go 30 minutes to the rookies here of Yegor Demon and Bub Carrington. I'm going to start Sar at the 5 for the second half and get Obi Toppin in the lineup just to see what he can do. I'm going to lower Kaman's minutes just a little bit. So for the second half of the year, like Keyshawn George, you're probably going to get the 6-man minutes, about 27 a night, maybe 20 to Kaman. Cole Anthony, 10 minutes a night, fine. Harris, no, he's not going to play. He's a free agent at the end of the year. No point in playing him. KCP, I'm not getting anything for him. It's a bad contract. So let's get Champagny in there. Let's get Kobe Bryant in there. And let's get Tristan Vucevic in there. Oh, no, I got to get Najee Marshall in there as well. So honestly, we kind of know what Cole is. I'm not going to play Cole. So I got about 47 minutes for these 4 players. I think we're going to go about 18 a night to Najee Marshall. Let's go about, I think, 7. Maybe we can do 8 to Vucevic. And Brea, and then we're going to go about 13 to Champagny. So this is going to be the remaining roster for the rest of the year. We're really bad. It's probably going to be the last year under Brian Keefe as the head coach. So hopefully this is now rock bottom for the Wizards. So Luka wins MVP this year. Cooper Flag, very jealous of Philly, gets Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey, 6-man of the year in Cleveland. Shout out to Scoop breaking out this year. And we're going to go through these All-NBA teams. And I don't even think we'd get somebody on All-NBA 9th team if that was an option this year. Oh man, what could have been if Cooper Flag defensively with Alex Sarr? That stinks. We did get Yegor Demon on all-rookie first team, which is obviously encouraging, and Kaman Watch on all-rookie second team. Also very encouraging. We are going to be nowhere near the play-in tournament this year. We ended up going 13-69, so we did finish worse than we did last year, which I guess is kind of sad. Obviously, I don't really want to draft 3 more rookies anymore. I kind of want to get more veteran and NBA-ready talent. Who wants to join this team? I'm not sure. I do think we could take somewhat of a leap. I hope I get lucky in the lottery. I hope I can get Cameron Boozer or AJ DeBanza, but we'll see. Haven't really been lucky in the lottery yet. We have a rematch of the 2024 NBA Finals, and the Mavericks get revenge on that Finals, and they beat the Celtics here in 6. Luka gets MVP and Finals MVP in the same season. Kevin Love retired for the Celtics. He almost got his second ring. Tobias Harris, who was going to be a free agent, retires at age 33. So in 2026, our first round pick, shout out to Pop retiring, is top 8 protected. So that is going to be our pick this year, because the lowest we can go to is 5, I believe, because we were the worst team in the league yet again. And now that pick becomes a 26 and 27 second. So we are going to be getting our first round pick back from the New York Knicks. All right, so here we go. Are we going to drop from 1 to 5? Back-to-back years? That would just be jokes. Okay, let's go. We're going to have a top 4 pick. Come on, give me top 3. I want Peterson, Boozer, or DeBanza, and we get a top 3 pick. Let's go. It's probably because 2K doesn't think it's mine right now, but that is mine. That pick is top 8 protected in 2026, so we are going to be getting it. Are we going to get number 3? That is going to be the case. So, of course, we lose out on DeBanza or Cameron Boozer, but I should end up getting Darren Peterson, and that is still a top 3 talent in the class. So this is going to feel really good, giving the Knicks my 2026 and their 2027 like second back, and we get the third pick because we're taking back what's rightfully ours. So Brian Keefe, I'm sorry. Like, you won, what, 30 games in 2 years? I gotta fire you. Joe Mazzulla. I don't know if he would want to take a challenge of the Washington Wizards, but we can offer him a deal. Jason Kidd, should we try to hire one of the two coaches that were in the NBA Finals? Jeez, how are they both under contract? Or not under contract? Will Hardy, I mean, he got let go by the Jazz. We should take a chance on him. One man's trash could be another man's treasure. Same with Kenny Atkinson. Let's offer him a deal. I think Billy Donovan may be a little bit more realistic. Darvin Ham as well. But let's see. We actually get Hardy or Atkinson. I'm going to go with the younger guy in Will Hardy. So let's do that. We're going to get Hardy to be the next head coach. So unless there's some insane shocker in the top three, like we could end up with Cameron Boozer if the Spurs, I mean, you can get Cameron Boozer next to Wemby. That's incredible. So the Warriors are getting the next star after Steph Curry, and that is going to be AJ DeBanza. They got to update that. He's going to BYU. So is Darren Peterson going to go too? He does. All right. I guess Cameron Boozer, you are going to be a Washington Wizard. Let's go. All right. So I guess that hurts Kaman a little bit because I think it's going to be Boozer and Sarr now in that front court. But Kaman could definitely be a good backup center. And the Kings have the 4th overall pick, and they just traded it for Michael Porter Jr. And they take Caleb Wilson, or vice versa, sorry. They had Michael Porter Jr., and they traded it for the 4th pick. So Cameron Boozer, we are going to sign. Obviously, Bilal, we're going to sign. Keyshawn George, we're going to sign. KCP opt-in. I'm going to pick up the team option on Kobe Bryant, but we are going to decline it on Cole Anthony. Trae Young is a free agent. Trae Young would be an interesting name, man. If I had Cooper Flagg, I would so go after Trae Young, but I do believe Jaeger Demon could be the guy going forward. I think we have cap. Yeah, we have about $46 million. Now, Bilal will be a free agent next year, but we are going to have $21 million off the books. We're going to have $30 million off the books with Najee Marshall as well. Jaren Jackson Jr. would be a fun ad. De'Aaron Fox would be a fun ad as well. I don't know if they're more realistic options. Jimmy Butler, right? So I think we're going to address a big maybe free agent. We got to show some progression with this team. I don't know if any top guy wants to sign with us. So going into next year, I think we're going to have Bilal at the 3, Boozer at the 4, Sarr at the 5, Kaman and Obi is the backup front court guys. We're going to have George and Marshall getting minutes as well. Carrington, I wouldn't mind like trying to get a different shooting guard here, but I don't know if any of these guys make sense. I mean, Keon Ellis can really help out our defense. Ira DeSunmu as well, I think could be a fun ad. Who had a good year, but I wonder if his play style is a little redundant with Bub's ceiling. I think that's where Bub could be. But I think DeSunmu, better defender for sure. But I think I'm going to give Keon Ellis a deal. I think I'm going to give him about a 3-year deal at exactly $33 million. Even put a team option on the last year. And he's going to sign with us. So we're going to renounce the rights on Cole and Collins. Our Champagnie and Vucevic restricted free agents, just Vucevic is. I don't think I'm bringing back Champagnie. You know what? If it's for the minimum, why not? Let's give him a 2-year minimum deal. Will he take that? He will. Just somebody that's going to keep earning a paycheck from us. So he should sign that. We'll get Vucevic back on the qualifying offer. I don't mind taking a flyer on a point guard like a Delano Banton, who's got a 2-year deal from the Bulls. I don't think I'm going up to 2 years. Kolek has a 2-year deal also from the Bulls. Okay. I'll give Ryan Rollins a 1-year deal. We're just trying to have an open cap sheet for next year. Let's see where Trae Young went. He went to the Pelicans. Okay, so he re-signed with them. That's an interesting team. I do want to see what they're looking like. And oh, for once, Luka re-signs with the Mavericks. Thank you. So if I look at the Pelicans roster, they were actually pretty good last year. They were the 5 seed. So they have Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 2. So they no longer have DeJounte Murray, but they did trade for Bam Adebayo. Okay. And we get Vucevic back on the qualifying offer. Sarr's up to an 86. Bilal 85. Big year for Bilal. Because like, somebody offers him $40+ million. Do we match that? I don't know. We'll see. So if we did look at if Bilal would even re-sign with us, no, he still refuses to re-sign. Okay. All right. So let's come up with this rotation for year number 3. I think Keon Ellis would actually be a good complementary defender to Jaeger and Bilal. So I think that's going to be the starting 5. Kaman's going to come off the bench. He's probably going to get like 18, probably do like 16 minutes a night because we're going to go 32 to Sarr. I think Keyshawn George could be the 6th man. No, he's going to be the 7th man because I want Bub as the 6th man, getting around 24 minutes a night. I think Obi can get some minutes. He's going to get around 16, but I think he could be some type of trade piece. And I think Najee Marshall, I'd probably like to get that last spot just to get up some trade value so he can get 12 minutes a night. I would like to go at least 25 to, I think, Keon Ellis. We can go 30 to rookie Cameron Boozer, and we can go about 31 to Jaeger. Let's go 33 to Bilal, the most minutes on the team. Under new head coach Will Hardy, we are 3-star balanced. I'd be very shocked if I don't top my win total from the previous 2 years. And we did get blown up by 44 to start off the year. All right, not off to a good start. Alex Star went 0 of 9 from 3. Oh my God. Maybe the 55 simulator difficulty is too tough, but you know what? It's providing a challenge. I have it on 55, right? Yeah, so these are usually the sliders I use. I mean, I teeter with like 55 to 50, but we're 10 and 40. Oh my God, we suck again. I think we're going in the right direction. Like, Bilal's becoming more and more efficient, and he's restricted free agent too, so I'm not worried about like him leaving us. But I mean, I would like to have a couple more wins. Yegor Demon, really good year number 2. I'm surprised we only have 10 wins. Cameron Boozer, up and downs in his rookie year, but has been really productive. Sar, 15, 7, and 3. The efficiency is getting better. I'm telling him, don't take as many threes, and he could end up on an all-defensive team. Bub has been great off the bench. I'm really surprised. Like, Keon Ellis is good. Keyshawn George maybe isn't breaking out. Like, maybe we're realizing he's not going to be part of the rotation going forward, which is fine. He was the 24th overall pick. Guys work out, guys don't. I think Obi might have some trade value either now or in the offseason. Like, even Kaman's a good backup 5. Najee Marshall may have some trade value right now. And I'm really tempted on taking on Jonathan Isaac's bad contract, but I get a New York first in 2031. Like, what does it look like? It is 14, 14, 15. Like, I don't think I'm signing a max free agent. Honestly, I'm going to do this trade. We're going to load up a little bit more on draft capital. I know I said I was going to stop doing that, but we're 10 and 40. Who wants to sign with us right now? So now that, yeah, we do have Najee Marshall off the team, and like, we're gonna have KCP's contract off the books in the offseason. I got about 12 more minutes. I think I'm gonna see what Kobe Bryant can do with about 10 of those. Obi Toppin, 15 minutes. Just don't mess up your trade value so I can move you in the offseason. 6 more minutes. Let's go 27 to Ellis. Let's go 35 to Bilal. And we're going to go 33 to Yegor. So, Luka Doncic wins MVP. AJ Debanta, Asia Rookie of the Year for the Golden State Warriors. Could have been a Wizard, as we do see Jaden Ivey on, or making, what, 6th man of the year? He had a good year for the Phoenix Suns. Really good year. Did he sign a 1-year deal with them? I could have signed him. Yep, $2 million. Nobody's ever going to want to do that with us, I guess. Wemby Depoy. Shout out to Jake LaRavia winning Most Improved. And honestly, 2K, I think, got this one right. Definitely a Most Improved season, as I think Norman Powell should get it this year. If Cade Cunningham wins Most Improved, we have lost the plot. We don't get any Wizards on the All-NBA teams, unfortunately. All defensive first team, no Sar. Damn, Sar has yet to make an all-defensive team. We do get Cameron Boozer on all-rookie first team. I guess the bright side of finishing as one of the worst teams yet again, this is basically trust the process, Sam Hinkie. Like, we did win our most games since 2023. Good Lord. I forgot the team only won 15 games and finished 1 game better than Detroit in 24. But yeah, 19 wins. We have won games in the teens. That's insane for 4 straight years. So at least I'll get a top pick. I know I've been saying that every single year. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit different next year. No way we are going to be bad next year. No way. As Luka and Cade are your conference finals MVPs. Yeah, remember that pick I got for Kyle Kuzma? I believe that's in this year's draft. It's going to be like 28 from the Pistons or something like that. As Vooch, Jimmy Butler on the Lakers, Wizards legend, Jonas Valanciunas, Wizards legend, Spencer Dinwiddie, all retire. Draymond Green gets his jersey retired by the Wizards. No, we're not going to abolish the salary cap, 2K. All right. You know what? I've been watching it, and we haven't been the luckiest team in the world. Come on. Oh, that Kings pick at number 10. That might not be bad. Who was that for? That was for, I think, us trading them Corey Kispert. Let's see what happens here as our pick drops to 6. Really, man? Come on. Our luck sucks. That Kings pick was lottery protected as well, so we don't even get that one. We are going to own the Pistons pick at 24. Ugh. Can't get lucky. All right, so let's see who falls to us at 6. We could try to trade up. I wish Keyshawn George's contract was picked up because I could use him. Stokes ends up going number 1. Like, I wouldn't mind getting Brandon McCoy in this draft, but I'd have to trade up to 2. And that would be with the Hornets. So could we do 6, 24, like, and I'll do Obi Toppin. I was going to use him as leverage this offseason. Would that allow me to move up 4 spots? Bang, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to land Brandon McCoy in this draft. I could go Elijah Arenas, who recently just committed to USC. But I think McCoy at 6'5", him and, it's funny he had a Rutgers, like it could have been Dylan Harper, but him and Yegor going to be the backcourt of the future. All right, so we signed McCoy out of the draft. We're going to pick up the team options on Sar, my watch. Yegor being 11.6 million is rough. 15.6 million for Sar as well. Notable free agents here. Jalen Green, I don't know, like he probably would sign with us if we paid him a lot of money. We are going to have Kobe Bryant, Vucevic, and Koulibaly the qualifying offers. So now that we have Isaac on the team, like, we don't really have that much to do in free agency, I think. Like, we actually have negative $7 million right now. That's, I think, with the cap holds, actually. Yeah, like, I am about $10 million off from signing Nikola Jokic, which, like I said, I don't know why he would ever want to sign with us. Like, we're fine in the front court. I want to keep Bilal at the 3. I think the one spot would be to add a shooting guard. And like, do I think Shaden Sharp puts us over the hump, or do I just try to develop what we got right now? And we're going to make this trade in division. I actually really like this offer for us. Keyshawn George going to Miami and Jonathan Isaac. So I get off that $14 million, and I'm getting a future first round pick in this deal. And Jaime Jaquez from the Miami Heat could be a nice score for us off the bench now that Obi Toppin and George obviously are no longer on this team. So I'm looking at the roster right now. Like, do I want to add a shooting guard? Like, we have our centers. I could add another power forward. And obviously I want to bring back Bilal, but like 37 million, I'm going to hold off on that right now. I want to see maybe Max Christie's price goes down. I think he could be somebody I'm intrigued on adding. $14 million though, a little bit high right now. Lakers did offer him 4 years, $60 million. I feel like he would just take that money to go back to LA. And he does. Nick Smith, I don't really trust his defense, so I'm not going to go after him. Some of these shooting guards, I kind of wish were a little bit better. Like Wendell Moore, not much of a shooter, but good defender. Malachi Branham, kind of the opposite. We could go after G.G. Jackson, who had a good year for the Grizzlies, but $23 million, also kind of rich for me. So I'm going to try to offer Lou Dort a 2-year deal worth $20 million, and he should accept that. Bang. And I'm offering Bilal a contract very similar to the Jalen Green and Şengün extensions. It's going to be 3 years, around 100. But it's like 110, but it has a player option on the last year, and he's going to accept that. So we get him back. Yeah, he's making a lot of money. We're hopefully just banking on the internal development of this team, but I like the additions of Jaime this offseason and Lou Dort and obviously Brandon McCoy, especially for Jaime and Dort, like them making $10 million a year. Cause like, say Kaman wants an extension, or let's say, Yegor Demon as well is probably going to want a lot of money off that new extension. So Sar, yeah, he's going to want a lot of money. Obviously, Bub, this is a big year for him as well before I commit long-term money to him. All right, I know I should probably be playing my starters a little bit more, but I want to see what the depth can do. Yegor, Ellis, Koulibaly, Boozer, and Sar, with Jaquez, McCoy, Carrington, Maliwatch, and Lou Dort all off the bench. Please tell me we're going to win more than 19 games this year. All right, yes, finally, man. We are finally respectable. We are the 7th seed in the East. We still have a negative point differential, but 26 wins, man. Highest amount since 23, and we're only at the trade deadline. I'm just glad we're seeing the internal development. Maybe we're going to be like the 2024 Houston Rockets. We go 500 this year, but we're seeing this team perform better and better, and then maybe we make a little bit of a splash in the offseason. Bilal's three-point shot not really coming around too much, but Yegor is averaging 16, 6, and 8. A really good efficiency, 60% true shooting. Alex Sar, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. There's Jaime Jaquez, 47-38 splits from the former Heat forward Bub. I think I'm going to ride him through the offseason. Pause. As Kaman, still a good backup center. We have Keon Ellis, 3 and D, even with the field goal percentage down a little bit. And I'm fine with Lou Dort only averaging 4 points. He's just like a bruiser off the bench for around 10 minutes a night. I'm not going to make any trades. We're going to roll with this team. I'm not going to re-sign Bub right now. I do want to have, you know what? I am going to re-sign Bub because Sar, I think, is a guaranteed I'm bringing back. Bub is a trade piece, but if we re-sign him to this deal right now, we could look to trade him on draft night or in the offseason. So I'll give him this contract. I'm going to flat rate it though. So it's around $90 million across the next 4 years. And also one player that I did want to see how they're performing this year is Keyshawn George. Is he breaking out for the Miami Heat? Is he going to win most improved player this year? Keyshawn George is averaging 13 points. Yeah, he's having the best year of his career. Go figure. Boys, let's go. The Washington Wizards finish above 500 for the first time in so long. Ever since the Rush year. Did they finish above 500 that year when they lost to Philly in round 1? I'm sure they did. But 46-36. Coach of the year should be Will Hardy. Definitely should. That pains me to see. Just come on. Why couldn't I get Cooper Flagg back in the beginning of this? But you know what? It's a good year. And we got Cameron Boozer on All-NBA third team. Thank you, San Antonio, for passing up on him. Him and DeBanta on third team. It would be funny if, like, Darren Peterson was on first team. Yes, sir. Oh, Cameron Boozer is on all defensive second team. I thought that was going to be Alex Sar. And we did get Brandon McCoy, all rookie first team. Very productive year 1 for him. And yeah, I'm sure Peterson was really good over there in San Antonio. I don't want to discredit him. Let's see how good he is. Yeah, like, he's incredible. I would have drafted him and been very happy about it at 3. But yeah, we made the playoffs as a non-playing tournament team. We had the best year since, oh God, yeah, how long ago was this? As the 21 Wizards, I think that was the year they lost to Philly. They were under 500. The East is so bad. The first above 500 year since 2018. A decade. That is really embarrassing. All right, though. You know what? I'm happy about the squad going into the playoffs. I think I got to play Lou Dort, who's had some big-time moments in the playoffs before. So I don't think I'm really going to make too many changes to the team. I think Keon Ellis may get like 20 minutes a night. And I think Bilal, I'm going to give him 32 still. I'm going to go 35 to Boozer, 34 to Sar, and one more to Yegor. And we're taking on the Toronto Raptors, who I'm sure have a good team around Scotty Barnes. They have a couple former Utah Jazz. They have Trey Johnson, who I wanted to draft, who's pretty good. Let's see what happens here in game number 1. We do end up losing this one, 134-120. I'm just happy to be here. We can get swept. I'm just glad we have moved up a tier this year. And we even won a playoff game. 23-13-7 for Cameron Boozer. Great game there. Game 3, we end up losing by 1 point. Damn, we could have went up 2 games to 1. That's fine. Game number 4 goes to the Toronto Raptors. Oh my God, they win by 3. Are you kidding me? All right, at least Alex Sarr is playing well in the playoffs. Game number 5, we do end up losing this one. Oh, we gave up a lot of points here. But you know what? We were competitive in most of these games, even the ones we lost outside of that game. But I'm just glad we won a playoff game. We got here. I think year 2029 is going to be a very big year for the Washington Wizards. You have a Bulls, Mavericks, NBA Finals. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls getting here with maybe not the best team in the world. Oh my God, yes. Jordan Poole. I'm happy for him. He actually gave the Spurs a good 2026. Maybe didn't play as much in 2027. But you know what? Averaging 20 points for the Chicago Bulls, who did lose the NBA Finals, unfortunately, as the Mavericks have just been dominating this rebuild. Beal goes, Wizards legend. Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon, who we had on a veteran minimum, retired as well. I'd assume we'd retire Beal's jersey. Wow. No, we did not. That's kind of crazy. And we may get a top pick in this draft from Philadelphia. Let's go. I think that was a swap that worked out with us. And then OKC there at 14. Oh my God. Is that from? Wait, that's on the Mavericks trade. OKC didn't make the playoffs this year. That's kind of crazy. As we are going to end up with the 7th pick in this draft. I think that pick, I guess, was the swap worse. So that goes to Dallas at 30. The Kings, man, that pick was lottery. That was like top 10 last year. It ends up at 27 this year. That was from the Corey Kispert deal. So that worked out for them. Shout out to the Kings being good. I'd assume they re-signed De'Aaron Fox. No, they didn't. They were better off without him. So I'm very unfamiliar with the 2028 draft where you have people that are like probably in like middle school right now. I don't know if I'm going to keep this pick or we're going to look to trade it. All right. I'm going to try to make a big trade. So Jaylen Brown is in the last year of his Supermax. We know throughout these rebuilds that the Celtics try to sell and they go into rebuild phases. Would they take Bub Carrington, pick 7, 2 late first round picks and a second for an expiring Jaylen Brown, 31 years old. I have some backup options if they say no, but let's offer this to them. I will also include Lou Dort in this deal. Or actually, I would include my first round pick next year. Would they do that? They do not. What about instead of the second, I throw in, I mean, we have this swap with Milwaukee and Boston, so that could be appealing to them. They say no. I feel like we're close. What about the Heat's top 5 protected first? So I'm basically giving you 5 first round picks and Bub Carrington for Jaylen Brown. And that's like our win now move. Wow. They say no. All right. You know what? That's fine. I mean, I don't think I can get Anthony Edwards, but I could try. I would throw in Brandon McCoy. I would throw in Bub Carrington for Ant. He's 5 stars though. It's going to be like borderline impossible, but I at least wanted to offer them this deal to see if they would do it. Basically all my good first round picks, Bub and McCoy. I'd like to keep Bilal if I did make this trade. Yeah, I didn't think they were doing that. All right, I'm going to try to pivot to Jalen Williams, who I could play at the shooting guard position, or I could play Bilal too if I wanted to. He's obviously become an outcast there in OKC, and they were kind of bad this year, kind of disappointing. So I'm just going to offer them Bub for J-Dub straight up. I want to see if they counter it. They would. Hami for a first. I will honestly get this deal done. I mean, if I can keep pick 7, I will. So could I do 27, 30, and 49? They say no. I'd have to throw in Hame and I get Sexton. I'll throw in my 2029 first. That's fine with me. They want Hame and Sexton again back in this deal. What about if I give you that nice Bucks Celtics pick next year? J-Dub, welcome to the Washington Wizards. And then we're taking Gabe Neesmith, a 6'7 wing out of Florida. We are going to sign him. And then we're going to pick up the options on everybody here. We want as much depth as possible. And Dort teams up with his former Thunder teammate. I'm going to give Brea and Sarr the qualifying offers. And I'm going to give Alex Sarr a lot of money. This probably is the end for Vucevic. You know, I'll give Champagny the minimum, but yeah, Sarr is going to come back. Does he get a deal? He does not on day 1. He does get a deal on day 2 from the team that could have drafted him, but they didn't, and that is going to be the Hawks, but we are going to match that. 3 years, 124. Going to bring back Vucevic on a 2-year deal just for depth. Can I bring back both him and Brea? Yeah, let's go. All right, so we've kept a couple OG Wizards, not a ton. Like, I didn't move Sarr or Koulibaly. I did move Carrington and George. But Vucevic still around, Champagny's still around. I bet you didn't expect those guys to still be on this team. I'm going to make J-Dub a shooting guard or small forward. Does Bilal go up? No, I'm going to put J-Dub, who's 3 inches shorter than Bilal, at the 2. Bilal's going to stay at the 3. So J-Dub is an 93, Boozer's an 89, Star's an 88, Cool Bally 87. This team looks really good. All right, so I'm not even going to be able to play like Gabe Neesmith this year. This team is looking really good. So the bench is going to be McCoy, Maluach, Hawkes, and Ellis. We have a mixture of defense, offense, size, and playmaking off the bench. The starting five, Yegor Demon, J-Dub, Bilal, Boozer, and Sar. We have gone through some rough times. We have gotten out of those rough times, and rough. Wow, okay, well... Let's go on a title. We get off to a great start. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. So Wemby ends up winning MVP. This player who's your rookie of the year out of Malaysia at 19 ends up winning that award. De'Aaron Fox is now a backup in Brooklyn, which is kind of funny. We don't get coach of the year. That goes to Chris Finch, who went 66 and 16 in probably a more, actually, I don't even know if they're more competitive in the West, but Cameron Boozer in year 3 knocked down 42% of his threes. Incredible. 22 and 11, 6 assists as well, 3.1 stocks a night. We also got Cameron Boozer on all defensive second team, so an elite defender as well. We ended the season as the 1 seed in the East. Yep, the Washington Wizards are here, folks. We ended up going 65 and 17, 1 game worse than the Timberwolves. We were the only 2 teams to have an above 11 point differential, but the Spurs were still very good this year. I would say the West is a little bit more competitive as well. Bilal, 18, 5, and 4, 46, 34, 81 splits. J-Dub averaged 18 points, the best year of his career since 2026. 53, 42, 82 splits. Really good stuff from J-Dub. Yegor Demon, 18 and 7, 10 assists as well. 51, 41, 87 splits. There's Alex Sarr. Brandon McCoy, 51, 45, 88 splits. Good stuff there. And then come on, now you watch 9, 5, and 1. And I feel like this is going to be a really good playoff team, but hope we don't get disappointed in round 1. So I think for the first time, I do want to play the starters a decent amount. I think Keon Ellis, good defender, 12 minutes a night though. I think come on, good backup center, 14 minutes a night. I think Brandon McCoy is like the one guy that's going to play notable minutes off the bench. Hawkins is going to get 15. I'd like to go about 34 to Sarr, 36 to Boozer. Let's go 35 to Yegor, 37 to J-Dub, 33 to Bilal. I am nervous. We're taking on the team that won the Eastern Conference last year, the Chicago Bulls, and they added the number 3 overall pick in the draft. Damn, the Jordan Poole Revenge Series. They got Khalil Ware there in Chicago. Don't lose this. We do win game 1 by 1. All right, Bilal has a good game. J-Dub a good game as well. Game 2 goes to Washington. All right, we blow them out. Cameron Boozer, 36, 12, and 7. Game 3 goes to Washington. 137, 125, 27 for J-Dub. And please sweep them. Okay. Please, gentlemen, sweep them. Thank you. All right, so we win in 5. Good start to the playoff run. Yegor Demon breaking out here in the playoffs. 21, 8, and 6. And we are taking on the Atlanta Hawks in round number 2. Resurgence versus Sar. Hopefully this becomes like a cool rivalry. I think it'd be cool just because they are 1 and 2 picks in the 24 draft, both from France. I think that could make for some cool basketball. I gotta stop saying the word cool. I just said it 3 times there. And they play in the same division, which is also, no, not gonna say it. All right, game number 2, we end up winning as we are up 2-0. Bilal, maybe showing why I'm glad, or I should re-sign him, and I did. We do win by 6 in game 3, and we're 3-0. We are currently 7-1 in the playoffs. Make that 8-1 as we sweep the division rival Atlanta Hawks in round number 2. Alex Sarr may have just went off in that round. He averaged, let's see, in round 2, no, he averaged, okay, 19-7 and 3 stocks a night, but Boozer and J-Dub were really good. Sarr, 56 from the field. Bilal, struggling a little bit. I could dim down his minutes in the conference finals. AJ Mitchell, Nick Smith, fun offensive, but the defensive backcourt could struggle. They have Whitehead, Giannis, and Mo. I mean, this team is obviously led by Giannis. I do think we should be fine. Yegor Demon with a triple-double. Bilal shutting me up, 27 efficiently, and we take the first 2. Let's go. Game number 3 is going to go to the Washington Wizards, and are we going to the NBA Finals? We are 12-1 throughout the Eastern Conference. I think the Eastern Conference, though, was always going to be a little bit easy. Just like that Bucks team. Not as tough as like the Bansa and the Warriors. Like, that's a good team. They brought back Wiseman. That Timberwolves team, I feel like we were on a collision course. They have Zion. They have Jeremiah Fears. I'd be shocked if Golden State wins, and they do. So you have maybe another cool rivalry between Cameron Boozer and DeBanza, the top 2 guys in that draft class. This is the Jordan Poole Memory Bowl. They have Kasparov Jonas coming off the bench. We take game 1. I'm really glad we avoided Minnesota. I think they would have beat us in the playoffs. We take game 2. We're 2 games away from going 16-1 in the playoffs. All right, they win game 3. Wasn't going to be easy. Rob Dillingham beat his former team to go to the NBA Finals, but we do take a 3-1 lead. and we are one game away from winning the 2029 NBA Finals. We were bad throughout 25, 26, 27. We were respectable, and we made the playoffs, so we were good in 28, and it's looking like we're going to get the ring in 2029. It's going to feel so good seeing that championship celebration, and we get to win it on the home floor as well, which just makes it all that better. Like Alex Sarr, 8, 11, and 3 in this game. Brendan McCoy, 21 off the bench. J-Dub has 17. I mean, to save some money, I probably could let, like, Yegor walk and McCoy becomes the starting point guard. Bilal with 23, and then Cameron Boozer, 25, 16. Okay, Debanza, really? You had to put us on a poster. It's kind of badass, not gonna lie. All right, can I get one back? Sarr, get to the rim. Poster, somebody. All right, we're gonna turn it over, but hey, we win the NBA Finals here in 2029. And there we go. J-Dub holding up the trophy, the rest of the squad holding it up. I'd assume the Finals MVP is going to be Cameron Boozer. He's just been our best player for the last 2 years. And yeah, no brainer there. Cameron Boozer holding up the Finals MVP trophy. And Finals MVP is Cam Boozer. Let's go. So he put up some crazy numbers. We win it all here in 2029. We built through the draft. We did make one big trade getting J-Dub, and that is going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy me rebuilding the worst team potentially of all time. Let me know what you think about that. Is that just a little bit of recency bias, or I'm exaggerating? But I genuinely think that the Wizards could end up as the worst team of all time at the end of the regular season. If you did enjoy it, appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.